All right. So now I'm back. I don't need all of these things to look at. You will not find us on on the website, but we are on YouTube. We are on the three Facebook pages, and that's about the best we could do right now, considering the fact that Boxcast is just acting foolish for some reason. And so we're back again. Third time's the charm. Jaylon, let me know um, if we're up and running appropriately. And I know I'm not going to have nearly the number of people that I had from the first time. And so we just want to move on and see if you're there. So if you're there, just let me know. Again, when technical difficulties like that happen, people have a tendency of going someplace else. I understand that completely. I'm not upset with anybody. If that's what you've done, I do understand it. So I see people are coming on board. People are coming on and they're sharing and they're doing all of that kind of good stuff. And so, with that being said, we know that you are here. Okay, Nancy, Ayana, bless you. Thank you, Minister Marcia. We're thankful to God for you being here with us. And so, again, we do apologize for what had took place, but we know our God is able. Erica, Janet, bless you for being here. I hope to be able to get as many of you back on here as what I had on here before. Jemison, bless you. Okay, and so we are doing what we need to do. I probably have reached just about my limit with Boxcast. Um, there always seems to be an issue. There always seems to be something. But when it comes down to StreamYard, it seems to work just fine. So, again, it's going to take a minute or so for people to recognize that I'm back. And so, let me put a little something out here so people will know that we are back on. Elder Mansell, bless you, my friend. All is well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Get the word out if you can. Let them know that we're back up and running. We're back on. And I'm going to put a little post out here real quick that we are back running. Okay. We are back for the third time. Okay. So let's see what happens from there, and we'll go from there. So again, thank you one and all. Thank you so much for being with us, and we do apologize again for the technical issues that are going on. We apologize for that. We just didn't know it was going to do that, because this is probably the first time that we have used Boxcast in the office, but we thought sure that it would have ran just fine running off of the Ethernet, but it didn't. And so, with that being said, we are just grateful to God for those of you who are here with us. Like I said, I know I won't have the audience that I did, but I am grateful for those of you who are willing to come back and to share with us again. And so, I just need to ask a question as I continue to move on and as you come on board. We are thankful to God for that. Where can I go when times of trouble come? What can I do when trouble shows up? How can I manage when there seems to be no help? Valerie Lavonda, thank you so much. Please share, please share. Let everybody know that we're back. What I mean, think about this. Think about this. Even in this moment when we thought everything was working fine, broke down. We did something else, broke down, did something else. The next thing you know, now we're back up and running. But in the midst of running, in the midst of all of this, what do you do when you are stressed out? How do you function when you're delirious and distorted? How do you manage life when life seems to be managing you? How do you stay in your right mind when it looks like as soon as you have come close to the realities of victory, defeat raises its ugly head. What do you do? How do you function when functionality seems to be a waste of time? I'm just talking to a couple of people because the truth of the matter is maybe many of us have not been there. Maybe many of us have not been taunted or haunted or traumatized by life. And Christine, in the midst of all of that, where do I go? Where can I go when everybody else that I talk to is just as bent out of shape as I am? What do I do? How do I manage life? How do I keep my head above water? How do I keep a smile on my face? How do I say to myself, it's going to be all right when it's not all right? What do I do when the advice of other people is bad? When it looks like, oh, okay, this looks like it's going to make it. I might be able to wrap my mind around this and say, oh yeah, and then it turns out to be a catastrophe. What happens when you go to bed at night traumatized and wake up the next day with extra trouble? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do when I cry and I can't stop crying? What do I do when I can't shut my mind off in the midst of things just keep playing themselves over and over and over and over and over again? How do I deal with that? How do I deal with the pressures of just existing? I'm not talking about my job. I'm not talking about marriage. I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about life itself. How do I do this when it's not fair? How do I do this when it doesn't seem to? How do I, the person who people look to be strong? Okay, I hear you, Elder Mansell. What do I do? How when it looks like I am at the end of the rope and I don't know how to tie a knot in it because I'm just about ready to slip off of it. I'll stop by to tell you in no uncertain terms that the God that we serve, even when it appears that he is non-existent. Can I talk about that for just a moment? Have you not had a moment in your life where you wondered, like, where are you? Why is it taking so long? Why am I hurting so bad? I've trusted you. I've depended upon you. I have given to you. I have been faithful to you. And it looks like I can't seem to get any help in the midst of those moments. I'm watching people traumatized. I'm watching loved ones. I'm watching people who are dear to me are getting ready to exodus this life. And how do I manage this? How do I handle it? How do I handle it? How do I do this? Well, here's the thing that many of us need to understand and to recognize. Prayer is powerful, but the word is eternal. Can I say that again? Prayer is powerful, but the word is eternal. What did I just say? What did I just say? Prayer touches God, but the word is God. Oh, I'm about ready to shout. I'm about ready to shout on that, because what you have to understand, and I saw a couple of you say that, you go to the rock. What happens when you're not sure if the rock is the rock? What do you do? And I've been there. And I know I'm not talking to everybody out here. I've been there. I remember the days like it was yesterday when I questioned his existence. I questioned his love. I questioned his purpose. I questioned his power, his authority, his power. I questioned all of that, because at the time of unexpected trauma and disappointment, what do you do? What do you do? How do you live? How do you act? That's right. Prayer is powerful, but the word is eternal. Can I talk to you about the word for just a moment? Can I do that? Can I get you to examine something? David says in Psalm 46, verse 1. In Psalm 46, verse 1, okay, God is my refuge and strength. Let us talk about that for just a moment. There's two things that we see in this text. The first thing is God is. Oh my God, don't make me holler. Don't make me shout in the office. God is, not God was, not God maybe, not God probably. God is, which means wherever you are, he does not have to catch up with where you are, for he already is. How many times have you heard me say this to you, that God is in the trouble before you get there? And what he does is he tamps down the enemy's intent for the trouble to be beyond your capability of managing. And so what happens is he gets in the midst of it and does something to it, so that rather than traumatizing you, it builds you up. Now look at what he says. Look at what he says. Okay. God is our refuge, which means what? He is no respecter of person. There are times when I need some place to hide. There are times when I need a place that I can sit back, take me a couple of breaths, think about what's going on, manage what's happening in my life, and then turn in the right direction. He is my refuge. He is my protect. When I'm in the midst of madness, he's my, what is a refuge good for? It's the place of safety, even when the storm is raging. Look at what it says. God is my refuge and strength. Paul says, when I'm weak is when I'm strong. What am we talking about? Think about this. Think about this for just a moment. I want you to think about this, Lavonda. I want you to really wrap your minds around this and see if you can get this. It's in those moments of complete surrender and weakness that you find out how strong God is. Now, don't miss this. Not how strong you are, but how strong God is. Now, I'm getting ready to mess y'all up when I say this, but I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. Much of what you have experienced in life that was full of trauma and trouble, you didn't manage. He did. Many of those times when all kinds of madness and things were happening and you couldn't seem to make ends meet, and stuff was falling apart, the kids was crazy, the husband, the wife, everybody was in lunacy mode. And the only reason you didn't kill yourself is because God is. In the midst of those times when uncertainty was running rampant is when you find out how strong he is. There's this poem, it's called Footsteps. And in the midst of that, you notice that there's two sets of footsteps. And as the journey continues on, all of a sudden it's just one set. Why is there just one set? Because back there we gave up, but God picked us up in his love and carried us to our destination. That's a powerful thing to think about, because all of us have quit. All of us have stopped. All of us have given up, but he never did. So here's what he says. God is my refuge and strength, a present help in trouble. He will get in trouble before trouble gets to me and will help me through it. You know, we used to sing a song, order my steps in your word. Okay. Myrna, is that one of your favorites? Order my steps. Now, the question is, if my steps, Robin, are ordered in his word, those steps ordered in his word have order to them that brings us through whatever the trauma or the situation is. He's my refuge. He's my protection. He's my covering. He's my strength, because it's in him I live, move, and have my being. And in those moments when I quit, he said, you can't quit because I've been carrying you when you thought you was carrying yourself. Do I have 5 people that can shout on that? Okay. Why? Because he's a present, which means you ain't got to call God to show up. You ain't got to tell God, I need you to come over here right now. You don't have to tell God, I'm going through this. I need you. No, he is a present help. Y'all didn't catch that. Y'all really didn't catch that. That means I'm not going to say, Lord, I need you to hurry up and come back. He's a present help in trouble. He's present in trouble. He's present in trauma. He's present in tribulations. Jesus said, in this world, you shall have tribulation, but there it is. Be of good cheer. The reason I can cheer up wasn't because I won, but because he won. He's a present help. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? He's a present help. You don't really know how many times God carried you. You really don't know how many times God shielded you and protected you. Even in those times when he said no. No was to make sure that you didn't step into something that would have been so detrimental to you, you'd lost your mind. But I got something else. I got something else that I think we need to grasp. If y'all can give me a few more minutes, I want to share this with you, because in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27, in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27 says something powerful. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Now, y'all gotta look at this. You really gotta look at this. Glad you're here, Cora. You gotta look at this. You gotta look at this. Can I take my time? Thank you. You gotta look at this. Peace I leave with you. Peace I've deposited in you. Peace. Okay. What kind of peace? He says, my peace I give to you. Now, here's my question. Is God through Christ an Indian giver? Or whenever God gives you something, does he take it away? So he says, here's what I've done. Peace I deposit in you. My peace I give you. Not as the world gives do I give you. But let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Now look at this. 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 Okay. He says, what I give you has the ability to sustain you throughout everything. But the world's peace is predicated upon ingestion or participation. The world's peace, the world's peace is predicated on environment. The world's peace is predicated upon ingestion. Now, I know some of y'all are probably saying, what in the world are you talking about? I'm glad that you did this, because if I'm in an environment where the environment is happy and joyful and full of cheer, I'm happy. But what happens when I don't have his peace and I walk away from the temporary moment? Let me add something else about ingestion. If I'm down and out, I get me a good shot of something and it gives me a temporary sense of euphoria and all is well. But there's a twofold tragedy to that ingestion. One, it's temporary. Two, it has a lasting effect the next day after it's over with. He says, here's what I'm doing for you. I'm going to give you my peace. I'm going to leave it with you. I'm going to inculcate it into you. I'm going to cause it to be ingested into who you are, because You should not let your heart be troubled, neither should you be afraid. If I am following the Lord's leading, even in moments of not knowing what to do, his peace. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I've said this on so many occasions. The greatest trick of the enemy is to get you so frustrated, angry, and mad that you operate in flesh rather than allowing the Spirit of the Lord to lead you. What do I mean by that? If I don't have his peace, I'll lash out. I'll become vindictive. I'll become spiteful, because if I don't have his peace, the only other thing that I have anything of is my flesh. And Paul said, in my flesh dwells no good thing. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I want to make sure you're with me. If I'm left to myself, when I get done, I'm going to make a bigger mess out of it than what it originally was intended to be, because it was not intended to be a mess. It was intended to be a miracle. So Jesus says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you, not as the world gives do I give you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Y'all gotta catch this. Listen. Fear is fed by sight. Fear is fed by sight. Fear is fed by sight. I see bad. I see no good. I see trouble. I see trauma. I see things that are beyond my control. These that you have to recognize is that as long as I look at it through the eyes of fear, I will never overcome it. He says, I've already deposited it in you. And since by faith, you know that you are more than a conqueror through him that loves you, he says, don't let your heart be troubled. Now, why is the heart so important? I'm glad you asked that question. The heart is the seat of your emotions. If my heart is being fed by what I see, then my heart will respond in fear. But if my heart is in the peace of God, then when the trauma comes, because his peace is where my mind is, my heart will not fear. And don't be afraid. Now, somebody might say that's easier said than done. And the truth of the matter is, there have been times in all of our lives when it is easier said than done. But as you grow in the word grows in you. As you grow in the word grows in you. When you grow in the word grow. When you grow in the word grows in you. And the more word you have, the less fear you'll ever have. And so when stuff happens, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Tell you what happened. And it was an amazing thing. As we were driving back from Columbus up I-71 North, we were on our way and we're driving along, and this truck decides, while I'm right at the bumper of the trailer on the truck, that he put his signal light on. It made him no difference. Listen to what I'm saying. It made him no difference that I was that close. He felt that because he was a truck, because there was thousands of pounds that he was carrying, he could just go ahead and pull over into my lane. If I didn't have peace, I could not have maneuvered the situation, and I would have caused an accident. Well, actually, he would have caused it, but I would have been a contributing force. You want to know what I did? Now, Lady Harrison was spastic. She was, like, whoa. You know what I did? Y'all not ready for this, are you? Y'all really not ready for this. What I did was I rolled on the side, which was not a lane, but I rolled on the side of the truck, passed the truck, got back in the lane, and went on about my business. Now, listen. I didn't give him a finger. I didn't say anything derogatory to him. When you have perfect peace, it will teach you how to navigate the unexpected. Y'all can't handle this. If I did, because here's what the peace of God will do. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all really ready? I don't know if y'all really ready for this. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all really ready? I want to know if you're ready for this. I want to know if you're ready for this. The peace of God will cause you to maneuver that which had not been originally designed to be used. Okay? That berm is designed for cars when they break down to pull off to the side of the road so that they are no longer in the path of traffic. And so when the truck decided, this is what I'm going to do, I don't care anything else about you, makes me no difference, I'm going to run you off of the road. He didn't understand that perfect peace was at the wheel. And when perfect peace was at the wheel, did you hear what I said, Kim? When perfect peace was at the wheel, I maneuvered off, but I didn't slow down. I did not stop. Yes, I did accelerate, and I made my way past the truck, got back over in the lane, and kept moving. I did not get bent out of shape. Robin, don't make me holler. I did not get bent out of shape. My heart rate didn't race. I didn't say, oh my God, what we gonna do? I got his peace. His peace will allow you to see the path. His peace will allow you to see the path that was never intended to be the path. Y'all didn't hear what I said? Y'all didn't hear what I said. How many times have we seen accidents where the truck decides to pull off in front of somebody or do this or do this or do this? Would you have his peace? Because there was no way I could brake in enough time for him not to hit me. So I drove on the side and did it just as cool, calm, and collected. And then after a while, Lady Harrison was like, this Negro got this under control. No, I didn't have it under control. I was in control. Carletta, that's the shout right there. His peace will allow you to see a path that was never intended to be a path. Because it says, okay, that we should not be afraid. If I had become afraid, I would have manipulated the car in such a way that it would have caught the tail end of the truck and everybody would have got hurt. And I'm going to tell you something. It was during a part of the road where the berm was wide enough for the car to go down the berm without as if there was a road right there. And then later on down the road, when the berm shrunk, it didn't matter because I had already gotten past the obstacle. Is there anybody who can bless the Lord for helping you get past the obstacle? And I kept on moving. I can't see when you've got perfect peace, you don't have to give people a piece of your mind. You don't have to give them fingers. You don't have to be derogatory. You don't have to do any of that. Said, just keep on driving. Just keep on driving. Because you know what? I bet you cash money that person that's in that truck scratched his head and said, now there's something going on here. And they don't see his peace is more than paying bills. His peace. No road rage. And y'all know I've been struggling with that. And that's how I know I had his peace back. Okay, let me keep going. Let me keep going. Okay, are y'all here? Are y'all here? Are y'all here? Are y'all here? Okay. And so I want us to see one more thing. I want us to see one more thing, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because I appreciate the fact that y'all still here after all the stuff that you've been through. Hey, Pee Wee, how are you? I got one more thing I want you to look at. Psalm 55, verse 22. Psalm 55, verse 22. Y'all ready for this? Psalm 55, verse 22. Cast your burdens on the Lord, and he will sustain you. Now, what did I just say? What is casting? I preached about this. Anybody who has ever done any fishing understands what casting is. Casting means to take the bait that's on the hook and you do what you need to do and you cast it. When you cast it, it's because your intent is for it to land further away from you than when you put the original bait on it. God says through his word, cast your burdens on the Lord and he will sustain. He says, I want you to take the thing, Walina, I want you to take the thing that's troubling you, and I want you to throw it as far away from you as you possibly can, because the further away it is from you, the less it can have an effect on you, because when I catch it, it ain't never coming back to you. Cast your burden on the Lord and he will sustain you, and he will never permit the righteous to be moved. Okay, I'm done. Listen, I've kept y'all long enough. I thank y'all so much out of all of the things that happened and all of the mishaps. But are y'all not? All I need to do is take that thing that's getting on my nerves, that's ticking me off, that's robbing me of my peace, that's keeping me from being happy, that's keeping me from being where God will have me to be, and I cast it. I throw it, because the further I throw it away from me, the less effect it has on me. And once I've gotten rid of it, I don't want it no more. I don't want it no more. So look what it says. Psalm 55, verse 20. Okay. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. What am I saying? I'm on a firm foundation. If I am moved from the foundation, I will be moved into that which doesn't have the ability to hold me. I want you to think about that. When he sings, when he says, he will never permit the righteous to be moved. Now, he didn't say the wicked. He said the righteous. So where can I go when times of trouble come? Where can I turn to in the midst of mounting moments of misery and madness? As some of you have put in the chat, I turn to the rock. I turn to the rock of my salvation. Why? Because on him, the solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. What do I do when trouble comes? How do I act when trouble comes? Yeah, I might have a moment when I'm really not sure what to do, but at least I know where to go. I trust him. I depend on him. I believe him. I love him. I embrace him. I adore him because he has done so much for me. I wish I had 5 people out here that could say the same thing. Has he done anything for you? Has he made a way for you? Has he dried tears? Has he consoled you? Has he spoken to you and told you it'll be all right? Has he said it will endure for a night, but his joy has he let you know that you are precious in his sight? If he has, then you know where to go when trouble comes. Listen, I love y'all with the love of Jesus Christ. I will see you in the morning at 12 noon for our snapshot. Our prayer is, this is what I want God to do for you. I want your sleep to be so sweet that when you wake up in the morning, you'll say, it's the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in our eyes. Love y'all with the love of Jesus Christ. Rest well. I'll see you later. May God bless you. May he keep you, is our prayer.